When you skip sleep for 24 hours, your brain's electrical activity mimics minor brain damage. Neurons, the cells that transmit information, fire irregularly. This disruption isn't just fatigue, it's akin to a temporary short circuit. Why does this happen? Sleep deprivation forces your brain to stay on high alert. Normally, sleep is a time for the brain to clean itself. Microglia, the brain's janitorial cells, remove waste products from neurons. Without this cleaning, waste accumulates, leading to cognitive fog. Your brain, which accounts for about 2% of your body weight, uses 20% of your energy, making rest crucial. Lack of sleep triggers a surge in stress hormones like cortisol. Cortisol primes your body to handle emergencies, but sustained high levels can damage brain cells. Your amygdala, the brain's emotional center, becomes hyperactive. This overactivity skews your emotional responses, making you more reactive. Why does your brain react this way? Evolutionarily, staying awake was a survival mechanism, keeping you alert to threats. But in modern life, this backfires, causing irritability and poor decision-making. After 24 hours without sleep, your amygdala's reactivity increases by up to 60%, a 2007 study in biological psychiatry found. After a day without sleep, your prefrontal cortex, the brain's executive center, struggles. This area is responsible for decision-making and impulse control. With sleep deprivation, its activity decreases, impairing your reasoning and judgment. Why does this matter? The prefrontal cortex coordinates complex tasks like planning and problem-solving. Without proper sleep, it can't perform optimally, leading to errors. A study in the journal Sleep in 2010 showed a 30–50% drop in critical thinking ability after 24 hours awake. This decline highlights the importance of sleep for maintaining cognitive function. Your brain's communication networks falter without sleep. Synapses, the junctions where neurons communicate, become less efficient. This leads to slower information processing. Why do these networks degrade? During sleep, synapses are prone to remove unnecessary connections, strengthening the essential ones. Without this nightly maintenance, your brain's circuitry becomes cluttered. A 2013 study in Science showed that synaptic strength increases by up to 18% with sleep. This finding emphasizes how sleep recharges your brain's communication lines, crucial for learning and memory consolidation. The circadian rhythm, your internal clock, becomes misaligned after 24 hours awake. This rhythm regulates your sleep-wake cycle and other bodily functions. Disruption affects not just your brain but your entire body. Why does misalignment occur? The absence of sleep confuses your hypothalamus, a brain region managing this cycle. The hypothalamus relies on light cues to synchronize with the environment. Without proper sleep, this synchronization falters. A 2014 study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that misaligned circadian rhythms increase error rates by 36%, highlighting sleep's role in keeping your internal clock in sync. Inside your brain, adenosine builds up when you're awake, signaling that it's time to sleep. Adenosine is a neurotransmitter that promotes sleepiness. Without rest, its levels continue to rise. This accumulation binds to receptors, increasing the pressure to sleep. Why does adenosine accumulate? It results from ATP breakdown, your cell's energy currency. As neurons fire, ATP is consumed, releasing adenosine as a byproduct. Normally, sleep clears this buildup. Studies in the Journal of Neuroscience show that prolonged wakefulness increases adenosine levels by up to 30%, emphasizing the brain's need to reboot through sleep. Melatonin, the hormone regulating sleep, is disrupted when you stay awake too long. Produced by the pineal gland, melatonin signals to your body that it's nighttime. This production is light-sensitive. However, staying awake confuses your brain's light-dark cycle regulation. Why is melatonin so crucial? It helps synchronize your circadian rhythm with the environment. When you skip sleep, melatonin production is delayed, throwing off your internal clock. A 2015 study in the European Journal of Physiology found that disrupted melatonin cycles can delay sleep onset by up to 2 hours, highlighting the hormone's role in sleep timing. Lack of sleep disrupts glucose metabolism in your brain. Glucose is the primary fuel for neural activity. When sleep-deprived, your brain's ability to metabolize glucose drops by about 6%, according to a 2012 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. This decrease leads to reduced energy for cognitive tasks. Why does this glucose reduction matter? The brain demands energy to focus, react, and process information. Without efficient glucose metabolism, performing even simple tasks becomes challenging. This energy shortfall is like trying to run a marathon with an empty tank, severely affecting your mental performance. Sleep deprivation impacts the glymphatic system, which clears waste from the brain. This system relies on cerebrospinal fluid to flush out toxins. During sleep, the system is 60% more active, a 2013 study in Science reveals. Without sleep, this process is inhibited, allowing harmful proteins like beta-amyloid to build up. Why does the glymphatic system slow down? It's designed to operate during deep sleep stages. Deprivation impairs this cleaning, analogous to a city's sanitation crew working half speed. This inefficiency can lead to cognitive decline and is linked to neurodegenerative diseases. Your brain's neurotransmitter balance is altered without sleep. Dopamine, involved in reward and motivation, sees a temporary spike. This increase initially counteracts fatigue, but it leads to mood swings and reduced alertness. Why does dopamine fluctuate? It's part of the brain's attempt to maintain wakefulness, a compensatory response to sleep deprivation. However, this imbalance causes emotional instability. A 2014 study in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews showed that sleep loss reduces dopamine receptor sensitivity by 10–20%, affecting mood and cognition. This neurotransmitter shift is a key factor in the emotional roller coaster experienced during sleeplessness. When sleep deprivation extends beyond 24 hours, your brain enters survival mode. Microsleeps, brief episodes of sleep lasting seconds, occur involuntarily. During these episodes, your brain partially shuts down while you remain awake. Why does this happen? It's your brain's desperate attempt to get the rest it needs. These microsleeps can occur even with your eyes open, making tasks like driving extremely dangerous. A 2009 study in the Journal of Sleep Research showed that reaction times increase by 50% after 24 hours without sleep. This highlights how microsleeps undermine your ability to respond quickly, posing a significant risk. After 24 hours of wakefulness, your brain's ability to form new memories diminishes sharply. The hippocampus, responsible for memory consolidation, loses efficiency. This means new information might not be stored correctly. Why is this significant? Memory processing occurs during sleep when experiences are transferred from short-term to long-term storage. Without sleep, this transfer is disrupted. A 2007 study in the journal Nature Neuroscience found that sleep deprivation reduces memory recall accuracy by up to 40%. This highlights the crucial role of sleep in learning and retaining information. The hippocampus needs adequate rest to function optimally. Extended sleep deprivation can cause hallucinations as your brain struggles to differentiate reality. The sensory processing areas become overactive, leading to false perceptions. Why do hallucinations occur? Without sleep, the brain's filtering system, which prevents sensory overload, breaks down. This breakdown allows random neural firings to be misinterpreted as real stimuli. A 2014 study in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews showed that hallucinations can occur in as little as 36 hours of sleep deprivation. This emphasizes the brain's need for sleep to maintain a clear boundary between the real and the imagined. When you push sleep deprivation to its limits, your brain's plasticity, the ability to adapt and reorganize, is compromised. Neuronal connections become rigid, hindering learning and recovery from stress. Why does plasticity suffer? Sleep is a critical time for synaptic remodeling, where connections are strengthened or weakened. Without this, the brain's adaptability declines. A 2015 study in Nature Neuroscience observed decreased plasticity in sleep-deprived subjects, affecting their ability to learn new tasks. This rigidity reveals how integral sleep is for maintaining cognitive flexibility. The brain thrives on change, but sleep is essential to facilitate it. Ultimately, the effects of 24-hour sleep deprivation underscore a striking truth: your brain is wired to prioritize sleep above all else. Even minimal loss leads to dramatic changes in function and behavior. The most astounding fact? The brain's restorative processes like waste clearance and synaptic pruning occur nearly exclusively during sleep. A 2013 study in Science showed that these processes increase by up to 60% during sleep, revealing the non-negotiable need for rest. This reframes our understanding. Sleep is not just a passive state but a dynamic, essential activity for a functioning brain. Your brain's survival depends on it.